Great Caesar's ghost! I didn't hear you come in. Welcome back to Kryptonite-Calv, and today we're going to be taking a look at the David Corenswet action figure from Fonjoy. Woo! Let's get started. Up, up, and away! Superman is my absolute favourite character of all time. Batman and Spider-Man are very close behind, but Superman is my 100% forever absolute favourite. Ever since it was announced that James Gunn would be restarting the DC movie universe, I've been eagerly anticipating the release of the new Superman film, and I was not disappointed. In my opinion, David Corenswet was an absolutely fantastic choice to play Superman. Even though I enjoyed Zack Snyder's previous darker versions with Henry Cavill in the lead role, which I absolutely love them, this film was a slightly different tone and exactly what I think a Superman film should be. Fantastic story, great acting performances, and a feeling of hope that you can take with you. A comic book come to life. David Corenswet nailed both roles, Superman and Clark Kent, and is also a Juilliard graduate, much like fellow Superman actor Christopher Reeve. Like Reeve, Corenswet really brought Superman to life, and it was great to see the last son of Krypton back on the big screen once again for a fresh new era. This is the first movie of the new DCU, and I cannot wait to see who they are going to cast as the other DC cast members. It's going to be awesome. Rachel Brosnahan was great as Lois Lane, full of strength and confidence, much like she should be. And even though he auditioned for Superman, Nicholas Hoult was fantastic in the role of Lex Luthor. Such passion and anger mixed with confidence and ruthlessness. It was fantastic. Making an appearance as the likeable yet arrogant Guy Gardner Green Lantern was Nathan Fillion. This will be the first Green Lantern that we've seen in this new universe, and I'm very much looking forward to the Lanterns TV show, which will be introducing Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. But until then, we've got Guy Gardner, and he was ace. We'd be here all day if I listed all the acting performances that I enjoyed in this movie, so I'll just narrow it down to my absolute favourites. Alan Tudyk as Superman Robot number 4, or Gary. Skylar Gisondo as Jimmy Olsen, probably butchered that pronunciation, but oh well. Pruitt Taylor Vince as Pa Kent, Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific, Anthony Carrigan as Metamorpho. Oh, you just killed the poor guy. Maria Gabriela De Faria as the Engineer, Millie Alcock as Kara Zor-El, and Sarah Sampaio as Eve Teschmacher. Like I said, I probably butchered some of those pronunciations, but I'm an idiot, so what are you going to do? The film is honestly really sweet and moved me to tears on numerous occasions. Not as many times as Kevin Smith, but I was certainly got choked up here and there. James Gunn decided that rather than retelling the origin of Superman, he would get started straight away. Boom, the film opens, there's some subtitles catching us up on everything we've missed, and fucking hell, Superman crash lands in the snow, all covered in blood and all fucked up from his fight with the Hammer of Baravia, which, spoiler alert, don't know why I did that, spoiler alert, turns out to be Ultraman in disguise. Superman spits out a load of blood and then does a super whistle, and who comes? His faithful pal Krypto, who proceeds to start jumping all over the battered Kal-El as he screams out in pain, prompting most dog owners in the audience to go, oh yeah, my dog would do that if I was in pain, yeah, 100%, yeah. If I was lying on the floor, yeah, my dog wouldn't be helping me, he'd be jumping all over me and I'd be going, ah! Knobheads. But, yeah, I did it too. I've got a dog. Actually looks a little bit like Krypto. Which is what everyone else fucking said. God. We then hear the words, home, Krypto, take me home. And Krypto grabs the cape in his mouth and fucking hell, they're off. On the way, dragging Superman through the snow to the Fortress of Solitude, where they are met by the Superman robots. They pick him up, carry him into the fortress and start listing all of his injuries and explain that with a healthy dose of yellow sun, he will be up and at 'em in no time. In the background, as Superman is being carried through the fortress by the Superman robots, there is a hologram, which is a video message of Superman's parents, which the robots often throw up there because it puts Superman at ease. Oh, that's nice. The message, however, got damaged in the transport from Krypton to Earth, so Superman only ever heard the first part of the message, but when the engineer manages to decode the rest of the message, we find out that Jor-El and Lara are telling Superman to make everyone bend to his will and destroy anyone who doesn't conform to his ruling, and take as many wives as possible to spread your super seed. And yeah, understandably, Superman is fucking gutted. Shortly before this revelation though, Lex and his gang of goons turn up at the Fortress of Solitude, which surprisingly opens for them, which means that Lex has somehow got hold of Superman's DNA, and then Ultraman and the engineer proceed to trash all of the robots and try and decode the rest of Superman's parents' message. So everyone turns on Superman immediately, believing that he has been sent to Earth to conquer the human race and enslave everybody, but this doesn't sit well with Superman, so he zooms straight to the Fortress of Solitude, where he finds all of his Superman robots either dead or dying, and Krypto missing. So he immediately zooms over to Lex's office, smashes the door to fucking smithereens, and then proceeds to start shouting, "Where's the dog? The dog, Luthor, you took the dog! Where's the dog?" Superman continues to shout at Lex, who tells him nothing, but claims he's got no idea what he's talking about, and then does a quick sly while he's drinking his cup of coffee, just, "Ugly dog in a cape?" Superman's like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, I didn't say anything." It's hilarious. Hilarious. And then, of course, Superman decides that he's going to turn himself in the hopes that he'll be taken to wherever Krypto has been taken. Lois then says to him, "Come on, it's just a dog." And Superman then says the line that, you know, if you have a heart at all, gets everybody slightly wobbly. Suddenly he says, yeah, he's not even a very good dog, but he's out there all alone, and he's probably scared. That right there, that's my Superman. That's a bit of me. Yeah, love it. Having it. I won't go too much more into the plot, because I imagine that if you are actually watching this video, then you probably have seen it, and if you haven't, then go and watch it now. I'll wait. I won't wait. I won't do it. I won't do it! We get to see Superman fight a kaiju, which is something I've always wanted to see in a live-action movie. I can't believe that it actually happened. And a lot of people were unhappy with the message from Lara and Jor-El being, you know, fairly dark and evil, but it didn't really bother me. You know, at least nobody's mustache got digitally removed. Mustache Gate! This is the first time we've seen a human Green Lantern on screen since Ryan Reynolds in 2011 in his digital Green Lantern costume, but the less said about that, the better. Fans of the animated series Super Friends will be glad to see an appearance from the Hall of Justice. This is actually a real building called the Cincinnati Union Terminal, and was the direct inspiration for the artists who designed the Hall of Justice in the 70s. The character of Otis in this film actually has the surname Berg. This is a joke and a nod to the 1978 Superman movie, where Lex Luthor is boasting about all of his planned real estate. He's listing Costa del Lex, Luthorville, Marina del Lex, and then gets to a country scribbled on in felt pen that reads Otisburg. Otisburg? Oh, Miss Testmarker. She's got it. Otisburg? It's a little bitty place. Otisburg? Classic. Nicholas Hoult apparently used inspiration from Gene Hackman's version of Lex Luthor and from Michael Rosenbaum's performance as Lex Luthor in Smallville. Funnily enough, Michael Rosenbaum actually has a secret cameo in this movie as one of Lex Luthor's raptors. That's a nice touch. Right there! This is the first portrayal of Superman since Superman 4: The Quest for Peace in 1987 to have him feature the yellow S on his cape. I personally always feel the suit is slightly incomplete when they miss out the pants and the yellow S. Pants all the way. Just give me the pants on the outside. Patrick Schwarzenegger actually auditioned for the role of Superman in this movie, much like in 1978 when his father Arnold auditioned for Superman in that movie. This wouldn't be Nathan Fillion's first go at portraying a Green Lantern, as he actually did the voice for Hal Jordan in the animated movies Green Lantern Emerald Knights, Justice League Doom, and of course the amazing Justice League The Flashpoint Paradox. All great animated movies, and if you haven't seen them, go and watch them now, and as I previously explained, I will not wait. I'll wait. I won't wait! At one point, when Superman is talking to Lois in her apartment, you can see the Justice Gang outside her window fighting what Superman describes as an interdimensional imp. And some fans reckon that this could be a nod to everybody's favourite imp from the fifth dimension, Mr. Mxyzptlk, who can only be sent back to his own dimension by saying his name backwards. But it is hard enough to try and say his name forwards. Have you heard some of the pronunciations? Nobody knows which one's right. People say Mr. Mxyzptlk. Some people say Mr. Mxyzptlk. Still sounds wrong. I probably am wrong, but I'm right, so. Mr. Mxyzptlk! One thing I would have liked to have seen though, however, is to see Clark Kent take off those glasses and rip his shirt open to reveal the Superman logo in classic style. But James Gunn has said that this Superman doesn't wear his outfit under his suit, he just gets changed really quickly. Bullshit. I did, however, come across a painting of Superman stood in front of the Daily Planet with his shirt ripped open, so that scratches that itch. Probably. The image of Krypto the Superdog is actually based off of James Gunn's real adopted dog, Ozu. That is a nice touch right there. Actor Jack Quaid, who actually voices Superman in the animated TV show My Adventures with Superman, did audition for the Man of Steel, but was not successful, as James Gunn has said that over 300 men sent in their audition for Superman, so unlucky Quaid. Son of Dennis Quaid and nephew of Randy Quaid, everybody's favourite Christmas cousin. Merry Christmas! Shit, it was full! Once filming began, David Corenswet said that he did actually receive a good luck letter from Henry Cavill. This is a nice touch on Henry's part and a really kind gesture, because from what I could research, Henry was told that he'd be returning to the part of Superman after he'd done his cameo in Black Adam, and then the actual next day he was fired and it was announced that James Gunn would be restarting the DC movie universe. That has got to be a bit of a kick in the bollocks, but at least he's doing Highlander now, so that'll be interesting. There can be only one! Just got to do a quick mention. I was lucky enough a few months ago, after I'd written this review, to actually track down and speak to Jeff East, who played the young Clark Kent in Superman 1978, and he was a really friendly guy. I also managed to speak to Aaron Smolinski. Aaron played the baby Superman in Superman 1978, and he would go on to play the young lad at the photo booth in Superman 3. He's grown up and has a family of his own and was more than happy to star in all of those movies and was overjoyed to receive my message. It was really nice of you both to get back to me. You made my week. But back to the Corenswet version, I have got to say I've stopped reading any online comments about this film, as people were ready to trash this film before they even saw it. There are so many fans out there that just stick to the idea of, I'm gonna hate this on principle, when you really don't have to. You can just watch it and make up your own mind. I'm sure you know that, and I don't mean to come across as patronising, but that's how I, look at these things. If I enjoyed it, then I like it, and if I didn't, then I don't like it, but I appreciate somebody else, who does like it. There's always going to be the original Superman films out there for you to watch. Even if they make the most terrible Superman film in history, guess what? The other ones aren't going anywhere. one of the only previous Superman actors who actually has come out and said that he actively dislikes this film is actor Dean Cain, star of Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. That's the rom-com version back in the 90s, which I still love, but you know, Dean has moved into kind of making mostly B movies now and does the odd appearance here and there, but not being mean, coming out and saying all of this about the brand new Superman film does kind of just seem to me a way of Dean Cain trying to remain relevant. But still love him though. Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman! I'm not too sure why James Gunn decided to use the Kingdom Come logo. It doesn't really make sense for him to have that logo so early in his time as Superman, but, you know, if you couldn't tell, I do absolutely love the suit. Can't say I wouldn't like to see him in the classic Superman costume at some point, but for now, I'm pretty happy. Right, that's enough about this awesome film. Let's have a look at the figure. This amazing figure has multiple points of articulation and stands approximately 17 inches in height and is a 1/9 scale, and it looks fantastic. The likeness of David Corenswet on this figure is outstanding, and the detail on his costume is simply glorious. The colors are bold and in your face, just how I like them. This figure not only comes with a spare pair of hands, but 3 spare pairs of hands. I've said it before and I'll say it again. That is truly handy. I'm sorry, but I have to. I have to. If any of you follow my channel, you'll know that I like to keep my figures in the packaging if possible to avoid dust and damage, but this one is torturing me somewhat as I do really want to take it out and display it, but it's such a beautiful figure that if I damage it, I'll never forgive myself. So, for now, in the box it shall stay. For people who do like to display their figures out of the box, this one comes with a clear base and display stand so you can have him in action pose or hovering off the ground. Pose it however you want. The power is yours. This figure also comes with 2 different versions of Krypto, which you can display with your Superman figure. That's a nice touch right there. The box art on this figure is top-notch, featuring an awesome still of Superman flying towards the camera on the front. If you are someone who likes to line their figures up library book style, then you are in luck, as on the side of the box there is information displayed boldly so you know which figure you're dealing with if you're having a quick scroll through. Overall, this is the perfect figure. Maybe one day I'll display it if I can get more glass cabinets, but until then, it'll stay nicely in the box, and I'm happy. I also like that the box, due to its size and shape, looks kind of like a VHS, which, if any of you know me, will know I'm a massive fan of VHS, mainly due to the box art and how grand they look. I do not get the same feeling from DVDs that have crappy photoshopped images put together in 5 minutes. Have you ever seen the covers of the Star Wars DVDs? They have really short lightsabers and pictures of Luke from Empire on the New Hope box. What the fuck is that bullshit? Give me the big chunky box with the original commissioned artwork on the front. That's why I love VHS, and I love this figure. Well, that's all from me for today. Thank you very much for tuning in to Kryptonite-Calv. If you've enjoyed this video, then please use that Superman heat vision to blast the fuck out of the like button, and please subscribe. It'd be really good for my channel, and I'd absolutely love it. Oh, I'd love it. Love it! Until next time, go, go, Superman! Go, go, go!